folks. Right, it's time to go on to the head. So I've stuffed my body. See, I've got my little tail on the back. Arms are in place. Let's get cracking with the head. So the first round of the head, we're going to be increasing in every stitch. Because of this, I don't want it to end up kind of bunched up, so we work in the front loop only, doing our increases for each of the stitches. So single crochets as standard, just in the front loop only. So 1, so we're increasing to 24 from 12, and then into the same stitch for the first increase, and then 3 and 4 in the same stitch, 5 and 6 in the same stitch, 7 and 8, same stitch, all front loop only, so you can see those back loops in there. Do that all the way around until you're at the end. You should have 24 stitches. Alright, last 2, 23 and 24. I'll just count back just to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24 where my stitch marker is. Right. We're going to do an increase round. Oh, sorry. We're going to do an increase round again, but just your standard increase of 6 stitches. So we're increasing now to 30 and doing them the normal way. So front loop, both loops for the increase, and then both loops for the other stitches. So increase in the first one, front loop only, stitch marker in, and then under both loops, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, increase, 1 and 2. Now because you've done increases in every stitch on the last row, these can be a little bit fiddly to get into, so just be patient, okay? And count, especially when you get to the end, count back, make sure you've got all the stitches that you need. And just see, I just like stretch them out with my fingers a little bit, they bounce back into place. So don't be worried about doing that, so that you can see that you're going into the stitch that you're supposed to be going into. Right, last increase. 1, 2 into that one, and then 1, 2 and 3. And that is the last of our increases for this beastie. So we're going to work up now, depending on which creature you're making, which in the written pattern I've stated exactly where each set of ears needs to be attached. But we are doing the cat, so the cat's ears are attached at, sorry, I will find my right piece of paper, at round 9. So I am going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch up to round 8, because then we're going to do the attaching at round 9. I will pause the video and I'll come back once I have got those rows done. Hi folks, that is me got up to round 8 of the head. Now what we're going to do is start attaching the ears. If I can find them. So I am making the cat for this video. I will do videos on how to make all ears. The joining concept is the same apart from with the dog. The dog's ones have just got a flat top, they're just a flap ear, so they'll attach the same as the arms. So you shouldn't struggle with that at all. But the bunny, cat, mouse and bear, so they're obviously not going to be attached on like this, they're going to be going up and down the way. So when I finished the cat ears, I finished on 9 stitches, but I'm going to call it 8 because I'll be joining up 4 rows. Like we did with the arms, I went over 4 stitches because once the 8 was folded in half, it became 4. So I'm going to do the same for these. Sorry, I hope that makes sense. I'm also just having to gauge it because looking at my notes, I actually haven't written down which stitches I attached the ears at. So I'm just going to have to wing it. So let's just go for it. So this is round 9 that we're starting. So this is just a standard round of 1 single crochet in each. So we will start here. And I'm just going to go around until I think I'm at the point where I want to attach my ear. So, and I'll have to remember to write it down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right, I'm going to go for 12. I'm going to take that last one back and I'm going to attach my ear onto 13. I think that is a good shout. Right, so I'm going to pick up my first ear. I'll have this tail tip to the back. Now, when I'm joining them up and down, it is a bit more fiddly than just going along. Not for this one, where I'm attaching to start with, but when it comes to the next row, for bringing the ear up the way, it can be a bit fiddlier to get into the next stitch, the one that's sitting on top, and I'll show you what I do to combat that. So we're attaching this ear to 13, push that out of the way, and we're going to carry on around to, ooh, this yarn just wants to jump off the hook today. We're going to carry on round to the other side to attach the other ear. So you can see we're in here, so 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, I like to fold the head in half, and then I can see where I'm sitting with my stitches. Yeah, I think I'm going to attach it in 28. Sorry, don't mind me. Yeah, because I think 29 will be too far back. Right, so take that out, get my next ear. Doo-ba-doo. In through the stitches, join that onto 28, and then 29 and 30 completes that round. So you've got two little hangy ears because they'll be attached as you go up. Now once I've completed round 9, that's the last round of just doing one in each, so I like to add the facial features now. You can do these however you like. I don't have a set way. I just go with what I feel. People can be quite subjective to what faces you put on your creatures, if you give them too emotion or not enough emotion. Personal preference, do them exactly how you like. Now I don't have a picture in front of me to see what I've done before, so again I'm just going to wing it. I sometimes do like sleepy eyes that way, or I do happy eyes that way, a little nose and some whiskers because it's a cat. Sometimes I do a mouth, just depends how I feel. So if we go, I'm going to do eyes. So I work out kind of where my centre is. Centre's about here. So I'm going to do my eyes. I think I'm going to come in through here. I like to do it at this stage. I find it's easier to undo if I've made a mistake, rather than having it all stuffed and in place and then I'm just messing up the stitches, or bits of black thread gets left behind and you're trying to pick it out. It's just a nightmare. So I'm going to go in here, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to go across 3. This is a little eye technique that I learnt doing a different amigurumi pattern. So I've come 3 stitches over. I'm going up through the top of that middle stitch. I'm gonna, how do I do this again? Loop my yarn over like so. If it'll go through. Come on. And it holds the eye up. I'm gonna go back in where I came through. So I'm giving this one sleepy, happy eyes. Sorry, not sleepy eyes. Happy eyes on this cat. And it just makes the little arch shape of the eye. Again, you can choose, you could have little eyelashes on. I'm going to leave the eyelashes off for this one because I'm making this one for a little boy. I like to add the eyelashes if it's for a wee girl. I am going to leave, that was my centre point there. Don't want the eyes too close together. Right, I'm going to undo this. I'm going to move it over just one. Otherwise the eyes are going to be too close together. Might be scary. Right, centre point. Right, so I'm going to go over here instead. pinch that tail on the inside so it doesn't run away through. 1, 2, 3, and then right at the top of that centre one, you just have to shove your needle through because it doesn't really have a gap to go through. And then back in that same one and pull it up. Pull that little tail to tighten it. Right, so centre point was there and I went one across, so I'm going to do the same again and I'm going to come over here. I always find that one eye sits a bit different to the other just because your stitches angle just slightly, but maybe that's just me. 1, 2, 3, over here and then up through the middle one at the top, loop that over, pull that back in the same space, and lock that eye in. Now you can give a little tug on your stitches inside here, tighten everything up. And then you obviously don't want your stitches too tight on the inside, because then it's going to distort your head once you stuff it. So that is the eyes done there. And then I'm just going to add a little nose. So I've got 3 stitches between. So yeah, I'm just going to go over this middle one. And what I do is I just go over the top of one stitch a couple of times. It just builds a bit of definition on the nose. Just loop around. There's loads of templates online for different faces stitched in this way. Helps if your cotton doesn't knot. And you can make the nose wider if you wanted, so you can start at the bottom of the eyes, like over here, and come right over here and have a nice wide nose, whatever you fancy. I think I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm going to add some whiskers because it's a kitty cat. Although I've maybe done the nose too high for that. Let's just try it from here, see what it looks like. So I'll just go 2. And then into the same starting stitch. Down to this one. Oh, it looks alright. I think I'll just do 2 whiskers. I do big whiskers when it's the mouse, so quite like a big long whisker on the mouse teddy. You can use different coloured yarns as well if you wanted. Little whiskers. And that is all I'm going to put on my little cat. And then I just go inside the head, find the tail from before if you haven't sewn it into place somewhere, snip off my extra, and I'm just going to tie this. I tend to tie it in like a triple knot, but to be honest, it's unlikely to come loose, but just that added security. There we go. Tie, tie, tie. And that's the little cat face I'm going to give this one. If you don't think it looks like a cat, I won't be offended. Right, so that is that done. And now we can get on to working the rest of the head and getting the rest of the ears into position. So we're on a decrease round now. Bringing us back to 24, and then it'll be back to 18 and 12 and then 6 for finishing. So we're going to decrease in the first stitch, one. Oh, well, there goes my stitch marker. Let's grab another one. And then we are going to decrease, and then we are going to one single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So front loop only for the first one, 2 and 3, decrease, front loop only for the first one, 2 and 3. Now, if you've had to move your ears and they're landing on a decrease and it's too fiddly, shift your decrease. So do attach your ear in a normal stitch, do the decrease after. It doesn't matter, you're still taking away that stitch. It's not going to horribly contort the shape of the head just by shifting that one, okay? Right, so I need to decrease now. Now, if we look here, this is the stitch that was made when I attached this ear. So what you have to do, because I find it too fiddly for this size, possibly chunky might be a bit easier. I find that then having to spin it around, I can't always get under both stitches of that bar, so I'll just go through the front loop only to make it easier, but sometimes there is a bit of picking and trying to get in. So I'm going to push my hook through, and then you have to kind of pull it back and angle your hook. Hook that front loop, and then work your single crochet. And then I have got 2 more to do for my next decrease. And then we're going to decrease on this one. Oh. Front loop only, 2 and 3, decrease, front loop only, 2, 3, decrease, and then we've landed on a front loop only again, so that's fine. That one, bend it down. Whoop. Try that again. Sorry. Through, twist it down, get that front loop with your nail, through, and attach. And then one single in each of the last 2 takes me to 24. Right, so that's round 10 complete. Now we're going to go on to round 11, which is decreasing down to 18 stitches. So decrease in the first one. Get that stitch marker on there. Oh. It is fiddly at this stage when you're going down to less stitches and there's bits all over the place. It's worth it in the end, I promise. Decrease in the next, one single in the next 2, front loop only for that one, and then normal for that one. Decrease. Front loop only, normal. Now, I would end up decreasing across on this ear. Can give it a go. No, in fact, I'm going to shift it. So, normal, but picking up my ear. it back again, look for that front loop. Sorry, I'm trying to bring it closer to my face so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm forgetting I'm taking it out of camera view. There we go, we're through. And then that was the second stitch. And then I need to decrease, don't I? Because I didn't do my decrease at the beginning. And then we're gonna go 1 and 2, decrease, 1, 2. Now where does my decrease land? That's fine, I can do my decrease before I go over here. Decrease, pick up that ear, angle it around and look for the top of that stitch, which is here. Once you find it, if you can't get a grip with your nail, get a darning needle, wiggle the front loop of the stitch out so that it's easier to get into. Attach that. I feel like I need a decrease here. Hold on, I'm just going to count back because I shifted them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Sorry. No, my stitch count was right. So I need to 1 single crochet into each of these. 1 and 2. So you can see the ears are nearly in place. If you look from the front, I feel like I've almost completely attached that one, but this one not so much. I've maybe gone in somewhere wrong. Still got stitches up the side here to attach, so that's fine. Okay, we're going to decrease down to 12 now. Stitch marker out. Right, this is the last attach of the ears as well. So 1, front loop only for 2, decrease for 3, front loop only for 4. We're landing on a decrease again, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do normal stitch for 5. I am going to go into the ear, fold it down, find that front loop, and I'm going to decrease on this one, so over to the next one as well. And then front loop only for the next stitch, decrease on the next one, front loop only. Right, next stitch is a decrease. And then attaching this last part of the ear, I'm just going to skip in up here for doing that. Pull it forward in there. Right, let me just count my stitches quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, so the last one's number 12. So normal stitch in there. Now, gotta put some stuffing in here. I'll pause it and put some stuffing in. Alright, head is stuffed, and now we are just going to work the last stitches to finish it off. Get that round the right way. Right, so we are just going to decrease 6 times, so pulling those 12 stitches into 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Can get my hook under that tight stitch there, and then under the next one. The fiddliest part by far, finishing the head. Here we go. Right, so that's all of our stitches worked. Slip stitch into the next stitch, tie it off, leave a good bit of length for just weaving in and out of the top. I'll also add a little bit more stuffing if I feel that it needs it, which I'm going to put this in and see what like. If I can get it all in. It's like he's got hair, or his brain's falling out. It was a bit dark, wasn't it? Sorry. There we go. Right, so darning needle. And this is how I close up at the end. I'm going to pick up the front loop only of each of the stitches. 3, 4, 5, and oh sorry, I'm not even in focus, 6. I weaved in and out the top loops of all those stitches, pull it tight, and then I'm going to link it to that one, slide that knot down, and then just push that down and through out the back of the head or wherever, and it just pulls that little bit flat. Snip this off. You can shape the head, because obviously when you've been grabbing it and squeezing it, it's going to have changed its shape slightly. And there you have a little cat cuddly. Thank you for watching. Any questions if I've not made anything clear or I've been mumbling because I've got the cold, let me know and I can help. The written part of this pattern is going to be on Ravelry, so I'll put a link in the description so that you can go and look at the written pattern as well, rather than constantly rewinding and forwarding listening to my instructions. You can read the written one and watch the video at the same time. Okay, thank you for watching.